there's obviously Olivia Munn headlines that everyone's going to pick up, and you get deeper into this than anyone has been able to get. There's also the I have been immunized thing here. I don't know, Ian. It wasn't I was wrong, but he did kind of pull back the curtain on. Was there a little bit of regret there whatsoever in how he handled it?
Yeah, I think so, because the way I positioned it, Andrew, when I brought that up was I said, listen, I can't guarantee this because I was not sitting in the room in August of 2021 when you said this. But if I were a columnist in Green Bay or Milwaukee sitting there, vaccinated, and you told your truth, and his truth was he was allergic to an ingredient in Pfizer and Moderna, and he was concerned about Johnson and Johnson's side effects. And if you had said that, I would have found that to be a somewhat reasonable position. I really don't think I would have ripped you that day in a column.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you would have faced less than half the criticism you did when in November it was discovered that you were not vaccinated and you tested positive for COVID. So I think he agreed with that. And he said, if I could do it over again, I would tell the truth. I would say, I had these health concerns about the vaccines and I'm not getting vaccinated. And I just think the truth is always the best option. And he did concede that that was the best approach and that he wishes he had done that in August of 21.
It's really interesting with him because, like, I've interviewed him over the years, and I think we have a decent relationship. I saw him at Santa Anita last year for the Breeders' Cup, very, very briefly here. Never had, never more than just like a 6-7 minute TV interview or seeing people at Super Bowl parties. I think Aaron has a little bit this need to kind of prove that when he's getting questions from reporters that, like, I'm a little smarter than you. Like, I want to test you to see if you really know what you're talking about. And if you push back on him, right, if you meet him at his level, then he enjoys that. And then maybe there's more of a connection. And I think that I'm immunized. And yes, he was trying to avoid it and he was trying to get away with it. But I think there was a little bit of, hey, like, I'm smarter than you. Are you smart enough to figure out what it is, how I'm playing this kind of thing? Like, I'm going to get one over on you guys and you're not going to notice. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I would say, Andrew, how did that work out for him?
It didn't work out well.
Yeah, and I think you're right, because he said his strategy was if they're smart enough to ask the follow-up question,
right,
which is, does that mean you're vaccinated? He would have then told his truth. Well, it caused, frankly, I don't think he's recovered from that moment. At least his image hasn't, because before that, he was one of the good guys in the NFL. He was socially aware. He backed Colin Kaepernick. He backed protesting athletes. There was a fan at a game who yelled out an anti-Muslim slur during the national anthem, and he rebuked that fan and was thanked by President Obama for doing that. And those things meant something to Aaron Rodgers. And so he was looked as one of the good guys. And then all of a sudden, yeah, I've been immunized. Those 4 words change everything, becomes a villain. He adds on to it with conspiracy theories, the Jimmy Kimmel thing. And now he's in a place where, listen, we all know it shouldn't be this way, but victory sometimes equals virtue. I think if he does happen to win a Super Bowl with the Jets, improbable as that might be, that a lot of the on the field and off the field unforced errors go away. And I think deep down he probably knows that.
And I really can't wait to read it. One last thing here. I know this is hard. Is there one big surprise, like one thing you learned about him in this journey where you go, I didn't see that coming?
I just think his teammates universally, almost to a man, outside of maybe a couple, love him.
Yeah.
And that's never talked about. Is like the people who spend the most time with him see him as a great teammate, a great leader. Again, a couple of exceptions, but it's been a long career, a couple of decades. And I think that's underreported, under talked about, underappreciated, under everything, because those guys know. And to a man, and it's unbelievable what I saw with the Jets last year and even this year, the way they look at him, the way they talk about him, and the vast majority of his teammates in Green Bay, the same thing. And that really needs to count for something. And I don't think it does in the public discussion of who Aaron Rodgers is.
And that love and that mutual respect has the potential, if, they could block for him here, to maybe write an interesting story here this year for that team. I hope it happens just for the sake of the story. I mean, it'd be amazing. And I remember when he got hurt last year, week 1, I was doing the postgame show on NFL Network that night. Like, the collective disappointment of everybody. I felt for Jets fans, but the entire league had this, oh no, because everybody wanted to see it. They wanted to see how the story ended. The circumstances have changed, but we get that chance to do it this year. Again, the book by Ian O'Connor is Out of the Darkness, The Mystery of Aaron Rodgers. Ian, when can we get it? I know this is an advance copy. Is it out yet?
It's on Amazon.com now for pre-order. It's officially released next Tuesday.
Awesome.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.